It's easy to see why Southeast Asia is one of the world's most popular backpacking destinations. This group of countries is very easy and inexpensive to travel around, has great warm weather, delicious food, and many beautiful places to visit. If you're planning a trip to Southeast Asia, this video can help you plan the perfect trip. From visa advice to the ideal itinerary, a suggested budget, and the best places to visit, we have it all covered. These are our 10 best tips for backpacking Southeast Asia. And if you find this video helpful and you want more travel content like this, be sure to subscribe to our channel. Also, if you're headed to Southeast Asia soon and you're looking for other travelers to meet up with while you're there, you can use GAFFL. You can connect with travelers from over 190 countries on GAFFL, plan trips, meet up, and share costs together. Just click the link in the description below or scan the QR code to start connecting with travelers on GAFFL in Southeast Asia. Depending on your nationality, you will be able to enter most Southeast Asian countries visa-free or with a visa on arrival for stays ranging from 14 to 90 days. If you're from the US, Canada, UK, Australia, or New Zealand, you can enter Thailand, Philippines, Indonesia, Singapore, and Malaysia visa-free, or Vietnam, Cambodia, and Laos with an e-visa or visa on arrival. If you're from European countries like Denmark, Finland, France, Germany, Italy, Norway, Spain, or Sweden, you can enter Vietnam, Thailand, Philippines, Indonesia, Singapore, and Malaysia visa-free, and Laos and Cambodia on an e-visa or visa on arrival. So how do you book cheap flights to Southeast Asia? Well, flying into Bangkok will be the cheapest option in most, if not all, cases. Bangkok is an excellent central hub for Southeast Asia with easy access to the rest of the region. Flying in and out of Bangkok is inexpensive. Suvarnabhumi Airport is Bangkok's main airport, with numerous non-stop flights from major cities all around the world. If you do not want to fly into Bangkok, Kuala Lumpur is a good alternative as an arrival city with low-cost flights. So what's the best itinerary for Southeast Asia? Well, if you're only in the region for 2 weeks or less, I recommend only visiting one country. 2 weeks is a really good amount of time to explore one country fully, and if you're trying to visit more than one, you'll probably be stretched too thin and won't properly be able to explore any of them. Thailand is an excellent choice because flights to Bangkok are the most affordable. There's plenty to see and do in this safe and easy to navigate country. There are also plenty of friendly locals and an abundance of travelers that you can connect with in Thailand. Vietnam is also a great second option because, like Thailand, it's very easy to get around, there's amazing food, and there are so many great attractions to see. If you have a month in Southeast Asia, I'd say that's the perfect amount of time to visit two countries that you want to see the most, and if you wanted my recommendations, I'd recommend visiting Vietnam and Thailand. If you have at least 2 months in Southeast Asia, you can comfortably travel around the region, enjoying countries like Thailand, Vietnam, Laos, and Cambodia. You can do the Banana Pancake Trail, which is a well-known backpacker route in Southeast Asia, which runs mainly through Thailand, Laos, Cambodia, and Vietnam, but can also extend to Malaysia, Singapore, and Indonesia. The Banana Pancake route will take you from Thailand to Laos to Vietnam to Cambodia, then back to Thailand, and then to Malaysia, Singapore, and then finally Indonesia. The Philippines is left out of this route because it takes a flight to get there, whereas all the other destinations along this route can be reached using local transport like buses, trains, and occasional boats. No flights are needed unless you're particularly short on time or want to travel to the Philippines. So where are the best places to visit in Southeast Asia? Well, when you're traveling around Thailand, you want to visit places like Bangkok, Chiang Mai, Chiang Rai, Koh Phangan, Krabi, and there's so much more. In Laos, you want to visit Luang Prabang, Nong Khao, Vang Vieng, and Vientiane Tien. In Vietnam, there are many iconic places like Hanoi, Sapa, Ha Long Bay, Nha Trang, Ho Chi Minh City, and Dalat. In Cambodia, some of the most iconic locations include Phnom Penh, Kampot, Kong Rong, and Siem Reap. In Malaysia, there are beautiful places like Langkawi Islands, Penang, Cameron Highlands, and Kuala Lumpur. In Singapore, Singapore, you can visit the Marina Bay Sands, the Gardens by the Bay, and Sentosa. In Indonesia, Bali, Sumatra, and Java are great places to visit. And in the Philippines, Boracay, Cebu, Manila, and Davao City are all worth exploring. Southeast Asia is a very popular backpacker destination where you can find a lot of travelers to connect and share costs with. There are travelers all around and you can just meet them naturally. Sharing costs with travel mates is one of the most cost-effective ways of traveling around Southeast Asia. Splitting costs for things like accommodations, transportation, fuel, food, and even attractions with a group will cut down your costs by 50% or more. If you're a solo traveler and you're having a hard time finding travel mates in Southeast Asia, you can use GAFFL to find other travelers to meet up, plan trips, and share costs with. Simply click the link in the description of the video or scan the QR code to start connecting with travelers from over 190 countries. While finding a travel buddy is the best way to keep your costs low in Southeast Asia, there's some other great ways you can keep your costs low as well. Book cheap accommodations, find affordable transportation options, and find some free and affordable things to do, and it can take you a long way. Like we mentioned earlier, you don't even need a plane ticket to travel across borders. Most of the borders can be accessed by buses, trains, or boats. If you're traveling within a city, you can easily get around town by renting your own scooter instead of having to use a taxi or an Uber. The cost of a scooter hire is usually around $6 to $21 USD per day, depending on where you are. Instead of staying at an expensive hotel, you can try your hand at a backpacker hostel. Cost of a hostel bed is around $3 to $18 USD per night, and the cost of a private room in a hostel is around $10 to $80 USD per night, depending on where you are. Street food is in an abundance in Southeast Asia, and it's delicious, so you can get around by eating for cheap at street vendors. Places like Vietnam and Thailand have renowned street food. Cost of street food is usually around anywhere between 75 cents to around $4 or $5 USD per meal. And finally, instead of going on an organized tour with high fees and costs, you can plan your own outing with your friends that you meet at a hostel or online using GAFFL. Most of the major sites around Southeast Asia can be accessed for free. So you can plan your own tour and save lots of money by just traveling with a friend and splitting costs. So what should your budget be when you're traveling to Southeast Asia? Well, again, if you're staying in hostels, using affordable transportation options, eating cheap meals, and finding free or affordable things to do, you can get around Southeast Asia on a budget of around 500 to 600 USD per month. I would, however, recommend budgeting for around 1,000 USD per month because you never know when an unexpected expense might occur. Visiting Southeast Asia from November through February is generally the best time to visit because the weather during this time is drier and cooler. Rainy season hits most of the region from June to August. It's also very humid during this time of year. Generally speaking, these are some great safety tips if you're visiting Southeast Asia. You always want to let a friend or family member know where you are and share your location with them via your mobile device. Download an offline map and mark all the places you want to go ahead of time so you can navigate effectively. Learn essential phrases in the local language so you can react quickly in case of an emergency. It's always a good idea to purchase travel insurance when you're traveling alone. You never know what's going to happen. This typically includes medical and transportation insurance, as well as trip cancellation and hotel burglary insurance. Finally, just be mindful of your surroundings. If you're drinking, always have your drink closed to ensure nobody puts anything in it. If it's dark out, instead of walking, take a cab or an Uber. Keep your most important belongings close to you in your pockets or in a front pouch, instead of in a backpack where it'll be easy to pickpocket. Knowing what to pack is a crucial part of any long-term backpacking trip. So these are some essentials that you should be packing for your trip to Southeast Asia. You want to have clothes for hiking and bad weather, like trail running shoes, protective sun hats, swimming gear, waterproof rain jackets, etc. You want to have some navigation equipment, like a map, or having maps downloaded on your phone in case you don't have internet connection. You want some essentials like bug repellent, sunscreen, and sunglasses. Toiletries cannot be forgotten, like hand sanitizer, wipes, menstrual products, toothbrushes, and paste. Having some first aid items like a thermometer, bandages, antihistamines, over-the-counter medication, personal medication is all definitely worth having as well. And finally, you don't want to forget your personal documents, like your plane ticket, passport, credit, debit cards, and ID. This trip can't happen without them. Now that concludes our list of the 10 best tips for backpacking Southeast Asia. Be sure to check out GAFFL to find a travel buddy for your next trip.